Hello everyone and welcome back to Amnesia, the bunker. Today is going to be a bit different. I'm going to do a little bit of storytelling because the recording failed and unfortunately we got picture but no sound. So I'm just gonna tell you what happened, and if you want to watch, please go ahead, and if you don't, then you can skip to the next video, which will be up in a few days, probably. Okay, so first I would like to draw your attention to the new headset I'm wearing. I'm actually very happy with this one. It's a Razer Barracuda 10 that I bought. And the first thing that struck me was the sound quality. It's really good, and of course that scares me because of the surround sound. It makes me feel more like I'm in a real environment, and you can understand how that affects me. So the first thing I wanted to have done was to go down to the generator and turn it on so that I could have some light, filling it up, turn it on, and then go exploring. You see, I really wanted to watch Markiplier play this game as well, but he went somewhere where I hadn't gone yet, so I couldn't watch it because I don't want to spoil myself. So I decided to go to the prison and explore. So turning on the light and running that way as fast as I can to have light for as long as possible. Of course I get a little confused about which corridor it is, but not too confused. So I run down there. Of course I get confused again a little bit, but you know, straightforward, it's a prison, so I figured it out after a little bit. So I go into this new place, which is scary, of course. Everything in this game is scary. So the loading didn't scare me this time though, for once. And I'm a little bit nervous of this new place because I don't know what could happen down there. Of course I'm also distracted by my dog. But I keep going down here, and the noises of the monster will scare me a little now and then. So but the lights are nice and on, so I dare to walk forward, but as you can see here I got scared by some noise. So of course I immediately start crawling. That's my general go-to mode in horror games. I crawl through games because it's usually quieter. So walking down here, I see this hole and I get more scared, and then I spot this room which I really want to go into because it looks interesting, or at least I thought so. But I don't see any way in, so I keep going after a little bit. Crawling forward, of course, because I'm scared. And I check every door. I see, I crawl up to them, and then I peek in and see things that I want to go to. I see the map on the wall there, but I can't get it because it's locked. Check the next door, it's also locked because everything down here is locked. And this looks like a control room or something, and I think that's where I need to go, but I can't. So I keep going and gets a little stuck here. I kick these boards which make noise, which scares me, so I'm like, should I throw this somewhere? And then suddenly someone starts talking and freaks me out a little bit. It's a prisoner, a German prisoner, who calls for help in here. So I start following the voice, but then I spot this room and I'm like, ooh, can I get in here? But I can't get in there either. So, of course, check the next door. It's also locked. And then I start moving towards the prisoner in a little bit again, because I need to check who's actually alive. I was surprised that there was a living person down here. So I see if I can find him and maybe get him out. I look into every single cell here, and there's a hole in the wall in every one of them, except for the one with the prisoner, of course. So clearly, if there were others, they were eaten. And I see an explosive barrel, more holes, and I'm just looking to see what's in the cells. My instincts, of course, kicked in here to block the hole if I could, so I moved the explosive barrel to the hole, because I don't want monsters to come out, at least not without me noticing it, you know. I'm assuming at this point that it would have to move the thing to get out. Anyway, I found the prisoner and the bolt cutters, so now I really want to go in there. But here, you see the map down in the corner flashing, because it marks the prison, the prison on the map. I thought I somehow magically picked up a note, so I started looking for the note, but I couldn't find it, of course, because there was no note. Anyway, Really want the bolt cutters, but I can't see a way to open this thing. It's just a little lid there that I can flap back and forth. So I try to see if there's a way of opening the door, but there's nothing. So I look at the other cells, the remaining cells, and I see more holes. And I see in here there was some fuel that I wanted, because, you know, light is nice to have. And in here there is a health kit, and I really want the health kit, so I'm like really motivated right now to get into the cells. But I don't see any way to get in, so I assume I need to find a key or go to some mechanism that can unlock all of them, you know. But everything's locked. So I start by yanking this door again. You know, gotta check it several times, because maybe it didn't work the first time. So I keep looking around here, and I go back and look at this room again. And then we check the door for the third time, you know, just in case it was actually opened. But then we go to explore another room here that I missed, down here. And in here I think I found some fuel, and a weird chair, and a brick. And I realized that bricks are heavy, and I can maybe smash the door open, so I bring it with me, of course. Gets a little stuck on the wood pieces on the floor, which annoyed me because they made sound and slowed me down. So anyway, I'm really brave here. I walk up to the door and I toss the brick at the door, but it doesn't open. But I figured maybe with another 1 or 2 smacks it would actually open. So I break down the door, and immediately the monster roars, and I'm scared out of my mind, so I run back here, crawls back here, okay, into the cell, and I fall through the floor. Which caused me to scream quite a lot and then be very confused, because suddenly I'm just standing in the middle of the corridor again. So I look around and then go, oh shit, gotta hide. Carefully backs back into the same cell, just in case, you know, I don't want to fall through the floor again. And then I'm just laughing here. My dog is looking at me because I screamed like a crazy person. So yeah, I hide here for just a little bit to make sure the monster isn't coming. But you can see the lights are flickering, which means the monster is close. So yeah, I just sat here waiting for a little bit, hoping, screaming a little bit because the monster was roaring and stuff. But I dare to go out quite soon, probably because of the lights, you know, lights help. So I go back here to see what happened and what's in the new place. And yeah, there's a new place, awesome. So I look at the different places here, and I find this grate with which you can't open, and then we read this one. Remember, if you need to remove grating, request a special wrench from Foreman Stafford down in maintenance. While you're there, ask him why they use these damn special screws in all the grating. Very inefficient. And I agreed, very inefficient. Now I have to find a special screwdriver as well. Another gas tank. I assume they can explode too. Yeah, so looking around, hiding a little bit because noises are scary. And listening to that German poor bastard calling for help all the time. Anyway, crawls forward, find this big open space. There's 4 doors along the side here. And a big hole, of course, which scared me. They always scare me. But here we find an explosive barrel. And I, of course, immediately goes to my strategy of blocking holes with barrels. So we start pushing it, even though it scared me because the noise it makes when you move them is quite loud. And then I found a grenade as well, which was awesome. Even though I haven't tried them yet. But I assume they're awesome. But probably better for rats than for the monster. Maybe you can stun them though. Anyway, I moved it up here to block the hole, hoping that would work a little bit. But I felt a little bit more secure with that one there, so now I can check the doors here. They were locked. Of course. Why wouldn't they be locked? Get stuck on some splintered wood, and I find this piece of wood. which I don't know what to use for yet, but I think it can be combined with something. As you can see, when you touch it there, there's a little cogwheel at the bottom, so you can combine it with something. But I figured I didn't have that something yet. Anyway, keeps checking the door, and I trigger a trap, of course, because I wasn't paying attention to the red X outside of it. So that blows up. And screaming, I run away again, because, oh my god, the monster's coming. So I run here, panic around a little bit, hide in the same cell again, but didn't fall through the floor again. You can see my face, freaked out a little bit, screaming because the monster again starts roaring because of the noise, and there were more noises coming. Really bravely, I moved back out pretty quickly because I figured, you know, there's still light, so maybe I'm safer than I think I am. So I moved back to see what happened. And it's still burning in there a little bit, like the what's it called, the stick which makes light. I forgot the word right now. Anyway, the lamp has been blown out, so now I don't have any light here, which is bad. But you know, there's the rooms are open now, so I can get in, and I find another stick and more fuel, but I can't pick it up because it's my very tiny inventory is full. And there's pieces of wood everywhere, obstructing my progress here. Not my progress, but my way forward. But then I found this one, so now I can carry more items, one more item. And I found some meat, so I picked that up, because why not? Maybe I can use it to keep the monster away, you know. So I thought maybe I could place it by the hole, and the monster would stop there if it came out, but yeah, I decided not to. Then I walked in here, and for some reason I thought this box was special. I don't know why, so I started moving the pieces here, thinking I could open this thing if I could just get to it, you know. And then there would be something amazing in there, like maybe a key or something. It was just the box that I couldn't open, so I just did that for no reason. And then checking out the last room in here, I found some healthy thingies, bandages, there we go. Anyway, keep moving because I'm full. So, and I think my boyfriend told me too that maybe I should go back because, you know, I've done quite a lot of stuff here, and it would be nice to save it before I die, you know. So, yeah, I keep pulling the doors on the way out as I make my way back to the safe room. And here I breathed a sigh of relief because, oh my god, there's still light, there's still time. I'm out of there. Back to familiar places. They're not really safer, they're just more familiar. Anyway, keep going back, and want to go back and save, empty my inventory, and then go back to get some more stuff. That was the plan, I think, here. So I keep running here to save some time, and it was dark, so I got a bit confused, but progress saved. Awesome. I almost go straight back out without emptying my inventory here, but you know, I remembered, or maybe I got help remembering. Put stuff in here. You know, I don't need all of this stuff. I was really confused about this stick. Like, what do I need it for? For some reason I kept the meat. I should just have left it, I think, to get more space. And then for some reason I decided to go here instead, to maintenance, I think. To check on some things while there was still light. So as always I get stuck looking into these rooms. And I go down here, is maintenance, and there's a tripwire, which I have seen, but now the rats are out. And they weren't there last time I went there. At least not when I went down. So I decided, let's try out the meat. You know, I have some meat. So I start reading about it to see what it can do, and then I decide to get a little closer first. So I jump over the wire, and then we take out the meat. And I'm gonna toss it into the corridor on the left to see if they will actually go for it. I was really scared doing this, but I edged myself down and tossed it and backed away, but they immediately went for it. So that's good. And then I saw that I didn't see that one of them went back there to hide a little bit, but I waited for this one to scoot over, and then I started going down, thinking I would be safe. But then this one came. For a second I thought it wouldn't do anything because it walked past, but then it bit me, and that was really scary. So I kept screaming a little bit, but you know, that's fine. Then we kept going down this horrible corridor. I really hate this place. It's so scary. Rats, keep out. I saw that sign last time. The lights are on as they are here. I'm gonna speed up the video here because there was nothing much here. I went in to the storage room. I found 2 holes which I blocked with lots of stuff, especially the barrels, of course. Barrels are a new thing. I found a rag, and then I left because there was nothing else here in this room. So the first thing I noticed when I opened the door is that the lights are out. It's dark and there's another rat to the left, and I'm quite literally shitting my pants at this moment because it's dark and I'm in a scary ass place. So I start going back as fast as I can without running, and of course all of the rats are back here by the corpse now, so I just run and jump, which doesn't really work very well because they bite my ass, but I remember to jump the tripwire, so that's good. And then I stop running in the sneaks here because the lights are out. I am concerned. Just jumps over the box. Usually I go down and go back around, but this time I just jumped it because I was scared. And back in the safe room, locked the door. Oh my god, I survived all that. So that was awesome. So then we combine these things because I'm bleeding, so I want to use that to fix myself, because I don't want to leave bleeding trails, you know, for the monster to more easily find me and murder me. I think it does that quite well enough without any help from me. Okay, then I look at the map here and I start laughing a little bit because there's so many red circles where around the areas where I have to go. But then I collect myself and I open the door to go back out again. But first I had to go back and save, of course. I was out of fuel, so I still had no lights, but despite being terrified, I go back out. I need to try and find more fuel. But I also knew that I had missed some of those meat pieces to lure the rats with. I had seen them when I was editing the videos. So I started sneaking back to that room with the corpse and the broken door, and it's down this corridor on the left. Of course, I peer into every room as I pass them by, because you never know, I could have missed something. And also, I do have a terrible sense of direction. I tend to get lost like really easily, especially in the beginning before I gotten familiar with the layout. So I find a room and I sneak in through the rubble without poltergeist this time. And before I even get to the vent, I spotted the meat I was looking for. So I take it and then I start looking around the room a little bit to see if I missed something. And for a moment I thought that the hand in the hole was something I could take, but it was nothing. It's just a hand from the dead guy. So I look around a little bit more and realized that I should probably rewind, or no, what do you say? Wind up my lantern, my flashlight, before I go out. So then I finally unlock that door and go out. I get a little scared of some noises here, and then I look at the signs up here, and I consider going to maintenance first. But then I remember that I haven't gone to the mess hall yet, and I think if there's meat anywhere, it's got to be there. So I start making my way up these stairs, being terrified as always of new places. I come up here and I unlock the door, and I remember being really scared of the noise it makes, but nothing happened. So I go in and I see this long dark corridor with holes, and that's really scary for me. But you know, making some weird faces and trying to look around corners as you do when watching a screen. I make my way into the mess hall, and I was just looking around here trying to see if there was anything on the tables. I didn't really find anything here, but you know, walking around, then I wanted to move this chair. Of course I knock it over, but just in case I had to run, I didn't want it to be in the way. So looking around here, I saw nothing in the corners, nothing anywhere really. except for this doorway into another room. And once I got in here, I see some pantry kind of place, and I thought I was in the right place. And I spot the meat, and whoa! I was right. I found it, and there's the actual pantry. I heard some noises as I went here, but you know, going down here to look around, seeing if there's something more I have missed. Remember that that's where I actually got my first rounds of ammunition from. But I hear the monster walking around now, so I closed the door and try to just be quiet in here. Of course, keeping the light going makes noise, so I walk further back and tries to hide in the corner here, and holding up the bucket as a shield. I was vainly hoping, you know, that if I keep the bucket up and if it should come in, it might protect me, and it maybe wouldn't see me. You can see in my face I'm terrified here because the monster was like hitting the door and making lots of noises in the room up there. So I'm dead, thinking it's gonna come in at any second. So I let the light go out as well because I didn't dare to wind it up again. So I'm just sitting here being terrified. But then it sounds kind of like the monster was leaving for a little bit. As you can see here, I'm like tilting my head, looking like an idiot, and hoping that maybe it's actually leaving. You know, it might be going away. So I think I was about to put the bucket back down. I did put it down even. I started sneaking outwards a little bit, but then I hear the monster start coming back again and banging the door and breaking things. As you can see on my face. It was quite funny actually, but yeah, unfortunately I didn't get the sound. So again, I pick up the bucket. You can see how the door is breaking and it's coming in for me here. And I throw the bucket at it as if that would help, and, and then I get eaten. So that's how that one ends. It didn't work out. So at least I only lost the last piece of meat, since I saved before I went there. Anyway, I'm back here, and I quit the recording in here because I was out of courage at this point. I didn't dare to go on. But if you watched this video to the end, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it a little bit, despite not being able to hear me scream like a crazy person. But the next video will have sound, I promise. Thanks for watching, bye bye!